line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina to Maryland. I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves. They tried to defamate my character, but I won't let them. It's always checkmate. I'm still screaming, the world hope she. Mother Nature's my first shorty. Watch how I go ballistic, and I'm so terrific. Accounts is copacetic. I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out. Now it was just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. But I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene. I am not a human being, I'm a full machine. I ain't holier than thou, I don't judge, I sing. Just staying down for the come up till I reign supreme. Let's get it. Yeah, hit boy, we got another one. Ha. Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man. I'm still grinding, I'm still hungry, hungrier than ever. I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Dak going to start out going to the air. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they approached up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19.
Eddie Jackson going down. It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Giants first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll go again with Hall. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Tim Settle, the Virginia Tech Hokie, in there on the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense. How do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Cowboys at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Prescott. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because of zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Prescott yet again. That is caught by Lamb. And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Well, I think the hope is, you know, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Fourth down, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it first and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Ball again on second down. Oh, he pulls over it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Davis Price on first and 10-yard line. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Yeah, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. To throw is Prescott. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down. Prescott to throw it. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bottling him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
One thing you have to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And it's going to be batted down. And will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Mixon with a first down carry.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Open man ran. It's complete. Down inside the 10.
Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a turn and a give to Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Throwing, Prescott. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by York is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now here's Mahomes. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 40-yard line. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away.
The Cowboys take over 3rd and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. Pass throw right back to Joe Mixon. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. York able to send this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Wilson's got it complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jones will come now in motion right. Mahomes now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Mahomes to throw once more. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there. And there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a first carry here for Robinson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes left side. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. On 1st down, Mahomes. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, They got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Now Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 2nd down and 3 with right around 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 3's all around. They'll give it to Mixon. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Mixon again, and this time he's going to lose yardage as they push him back to the 4-yard line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Danny Gray from 4 yards out, and the Cowboys extend their lead yet again. Extra point by York is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run with Hall. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will Second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Mixon. And some room to run now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on E! So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Mixon running right, and he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. 46. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Giants. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Gano the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
We paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the fourth, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result, this is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
80 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
On second down, here's Mixon. They find some open field here. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
To throw is Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further. Maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got him in, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
The Giants now line up for the two-point conversion.
And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of the two-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this race. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for two.
From the gun, a give to Mixon.
Down to about the 37.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7.
He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Over the middle, and he's got Gray. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Dallas,